I have just tax reports since, I brought it up briefly yesterday. And I didn't get a lot of warm response.
Well, it's back.
Is this your chair?
But
Is this your?
No, I'm not on the board.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's just.
Yeah.
Last year. You have to sit on that top chair, Mark.
There you go. That's get a better view, yes. Mark.
The one before that was.
I want to block the camera. I guess I
It's right there.
Just gotta go.
How you been?
Certainly.
Thank you. You're top of the grass right now. Mark?
If you want us to do it, we can.
Well, that was part, what I'm asking, well,
Refrigerator.
I could probably rustle up enough.
We got questions.
I have a sprayer. I want
Oh, you have a spray?
Yeah, I just wanna know if you wanna do it, or if you
Neither of us have our
like to do it, or if you wanna provide the stank, I'm sorry, do
We
it.
don't have our Irish green.
No, I'm not green.
Not green. There's some green.
It needs done.
Some green.
Yeah, we were down there.
That's not
This weekend.
I didn't see anything in there that said anything.
I got that Irish red hair though.
People say Scottish over Irish.
Where's your green? Where's yours? At home. Paint you.
I don't know.
Can't you find any?
This is my take.
The meaning to speak to you about it.
Which is 3 years ago.
I was in Savannah this week.
My toenail.
And Savannah, Georgia has more Irish. The questions I got is down to Boston, the rest of the board.
The green is that?
Yeah, they want us to pay that, to do it in Savannah, to pay for it. Legal holiday. Them do it, them do it. Schools are in session.
Okay, good.
That's why we were there.
Turnover came about.
Just another reason to get trouble. No, it's not all. The only thing we own.
Actually, I've been a pretty good boy.
Or I won't
It's
say
been a long time since I drank a lot of whiskey.
Yeah, provide and maintain of the, or the equipment inside, meaning the telescopes and the computers, the monitors, all that stuff. There's an agreement, the agreement signed by when Christie was the mayor, the town owns. Outside.
Yeah.
What was really good outside.
On the dog.
Yeah, there was a Twitter.
Big party.
You gotta realize, we don't get anything out of this.
Gonna call Christie.
You know how many hours we put into
I could make it up.
We can call him.
We pay for that, we pay for paying the rest of the library. In fact, this year.
How many days, Paul?
That's
We
awesome.
had 6 shows. Month from today. Wednesdays, Fridays, I'm every night, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Run the people.
Business.
I bet you have a big.
You'll run old business.
Well, I will. I'm sure.
No.
We can do it.
I would be interested in doing it, so I don't have a stain, I gotta do my house.
One shop. I work next to this.
Oh, okay. But I can get one of them electric sprayers, and you just have to have a certain
Yeah.
tip in it. to
Monty's
whatever
right.
stain you're trying to do.
Right, it's like a paint.
No, it's Mickey.
They just change the tip.
He's making sourdough.
Consistency of
Well, he wants to cook. He loves sourdough, so he's been trying to perfect it, and it always.
I don't know if I have, oh, I don't have to.
You're gonna miss this.
Depends on the cost.
Thank you. Catch all the ladies in the class.
She never hears, she's never hears. I know, way less. When they go up.
You'll still come in here and say hi.
Anyway,
And if you fix it.
Oh, yeah.
Or something, yeah.
It was like $500 58.
Plus
Stuff.
it's a
Well,
good.
better than what I used to be our director.
Okay.
He had a house, two-story house.
Not substantially lower.
High as my house. So we also first time they stained it. They tried it was louder.
She built it. And then I.
He said that was more. They rented, they rented a 7,000 or something. He said that was the money way to go.
Oh, okay, it's better.
Your stress level. What's your stress level? That'll contribute.
I figured we'll take that long.
Worry about.
How's it going?
Oh, my gosh, of course,
I always say I'm the luckiest guy.
I barely made it, so I wanted to make sure I didn't waste anybody's time.
I call this meeting to order.
It is now 5:30 PM. We'll start meeting with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Play ball! Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Winkie,
Present.
Ms. Patterson, Mr. Shy. Mr. Folson,
Here.
Mr. Nordike,
Here.
Mr. Wilhelm,
Here.
Mr. Yago.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. We'll start with recognition of visitors over there, that old great man, or that old man with the great beard.
He's new in town.
Mark Demboski, 301 South Second Street, West Cliff, not Silver Cliff, and former member of the illustrious town board.
In London, High Altitude Garden Club, Ranger, Custer County.
Jerry Peters, 409 South Fifth.
Terry Lee, Boutique off Main, 305 Main.
Renee Smith, Lady Unique Boutique, 305 Main.
Jeremiah Coleman with the fire department.
Brian Clintz, 102 South Sixth. Welcome.
On Zoom.
I'm sorry.
Recognize.
Oh, I'm sorry. I always forget to do that. So those of you who are connecting via the internet, please state who you are. Please state
Bill
who-
Smith.
That's Bill Smith. Bill, can they hear us? Can you hear me?
I'll jump in. I can hear you. Dan Finley, town attorney.
Okay, thank you.
Brian is back.
We're back. Yeah. All right, very good. The first item we have on our agenda is the consent agenda. I'd like a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. We'll second.
Moved in second, discussion.
One thing, I had a couple questions, but I'll talk to Aaron about that later on, just some numbers things. It's nothing major, just clarification, but
Okay,
that's all.
all right, so, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Thank you very much. There is no old business. New business, the fire department report. Jeremiah is here to fill us in on the fire department.
All right, good evening. I'm gonna try to be close to the 3 minutes, best I can. So I'm gonna just kind of give an update on last year, our call stats and some of the things we achieved, and then also and some of the stuff we're going into this year, gonna try to accomplish. So in 2025, our total calls for the year ended up being at 350. That's about 25 to 30 more calls than we had last year. So our call numbers are increasing. That being said, let's see, 27 of them were actual fire calls. 9 of them were structure fires, 4 were car fires, and 14 were wildland fires. After that, we had 4 kind of rescue, EMS, assisting EMS, stuff like that, and then explosions. We had 1 explosion, see 88 medical/flight for life calls and 44 motor vehicle accidents. Hazmat calls, that's hazmat plus kind of carbon monoxide alarms, stuff like that, electrical wiring, issues like that. We had a total of 69 of those. Service calls, whether it's assisting the sheriff's office with our drone, assisting with animal rescues, providing water to animals when needed. We had 30 of those. Good intent calls, which is smoke scares, dispatch cancel en route, prescribed fire, stuff like that. We had 103. And then false alarms, which is like a malfunctioning smoke detector, something like that. We had 26. And then special incidents, such as tornadoes, stuff like that, rock slides, stuff like that. We had 4 of those for the year. So our response times for the year, from dispatch to en route was 3 minutes and 38 seconds on average. State kind of allows up to 10 minutes is what the state standard is. Travel from the station to the scene was on average 11 minutes and 24 seconds. So the total response time from when we're dispatched to on scene was 17 minutes and 34 seconds. We provided mutual aid around the state and other counties 8 times, and we received mutual aid 9 times.
What's that?
Mutual aid. So we have mutual aid partners. For instance, the hay barn fire that we had out on Hermit that year, we called in fire department from Deer Mountain. We called in fire department from Wetmore. See, this last year, some of the things we accomplished was our Type 3 was delivered and placed into service last April. That's been a huge addition for us. We kind of built that as a dual purpose truck for wildland and structure fires. The more wildland urban interface we become, it's the more structure protection we're worried about. We replaced all of our self-contained breathing apparatus. The stuff we were using was the 2007 edition. So we've upgraded all that. We have the comms and stuff so we can communicate a lot easier and just all around a lot safer for all of us. We did receive a new federal engine. So these federal engines, when they're kind of out of commission, too old for the government per se, they put them in a big stockpile. They'll revamp them, go through and clean them up, and then departments can apply for them. And they supplied us with a 2012 Ford, and it's turned into a Type 6 engine for us, so just brush truck. It's a bright yellow thing. We named it Pooh Bear because it's yellow and red and kind of ugly, but it serves us good. Yeah. And then we were also awarded a grant for a backup generator that'll run our whole station for us. The electrical will be hooked up on that tomorrow, and then we're waiting for the propane company to get through with all their federal demands and stuff to be able to install propane. So I'm hoping here within the next couple months it'll be fully operational for us. This coming up year's plans. I've applied for grants for a gear dryer for us. We have all the decon washers, stuff like that, to wash our gear after fire calls and stuff. I'm looking for a dryer to improve the times of turnaround to get gear back in service and everything. Also applying for a grant for to replace the asphalt out in front of our station with concrete. It's pretty tore up and rough, and we have enough moisture out there when we drive across it with our fire trucks. It looks like it's waving pretty good. So hopefully that's successful. We're also applying for a grant to outfit all of our apparatus with exhaust filter systems that will knock down on all the carcinogens. I'm gonna have them wired in. They're usually set up to where they'll go into effect for about 15 minutes after initial start or startup to get us out the bay door. We're gonna have them wired in with a hard switch, so if we're parked somewhere out in the community, we can go ahead and engage it, and we're not exposing everybody else that's around our trucks to the exhaust carcinogens and stuff. We're doing a lot of updating on our training facility. We got some more Connex boxes that we're gonna try to build some pretty cool training scenarios and stuff with. We're offering a lot of in-house trainings, but then we're also bringing in a lot of outside trainings. We're gonna be doing a pretty cool propane tank fire training. They've never let us do it at nighttime, but we're gonna do a bunch of scenarios throughout the day, but then also nighttime out at our training ground. So I'll try to let you guys know when that's coming up, because people will be able to see it from all over Westcliff. We'll have a lot of agencies and firefighters and stuff from all over the state coming in for that one to help us out. We just hired a chief aide position. So we've had all these kind of department head positions within the department to help out or to do jobs like keep inventory on the trucks up to speed, our gear, issuing gear, communications, stuff like that. These volunteers, it's hard to keep people in these positions. It's kind of roving door with these guys because they got full-time jobs and families elsewhere. So we did just hire a full-time chief aide that will take over those jobs to better serve us. And then other than that, we're just gonna work on more community outreach. We do have a new Facebook page. Our last one got hacked and we got kicked out of it and everything. We were tired of fighting Facebook, so we started a new one. So if anybody's interested in everything, one of my battalion chiefs, he's doing a lot of work with that, with trying to update people, remind them, change their batteries in their smoke detectors and things to be aware of. So that's all I have.
I got a question. How many volunteer firemen do you have?
We're sitting at 22 of us right now.
And all those calls with just 22 people?
Yes.
That's gotta be a challenge.
It's interesting some days.
Yeah.
There's some days that, it's like weekdays are probably the hardest. Everybody else is at work and stuff. A lot of times it's me and one other guy responding, but that's where our mutual aid partners come in to help a lot. So I do see if our call numbers do continue to increase like they are, we're gonna be going.
Yeah. Do you have any training on command and control?
Yes. Yeah. So everybody, we started these new, we call them task books. So when someone joins us, their first 6 months of probationary time is when they start learning more of the community, how our department operates, a lot of the command and control stuff. And then their next 6 months, if they become a voted member, their next 6 months, we'll give them another task book that's more operational stuff to land a helicopter and do traffic control by themselves, just start easing them into this stuff and learning a lot more. So
At one point, I thought we did, I was never gonna go and do it anymore. But Jesse Salza, remember Jesse?
Yep.
Was doing fire inspections for us on apartment buildings downtown.
okay.
You still do that?
Yes, I do. One of my captains, he was a firefighter in Trinidad. Now he's just took a job in Colorado Springs, but he's our fire inspector now. I know he does all the businesses and stuff downtown and stuff, but
Now, do you communicate with the town on that, with us in terms of somebody who may not be meeting?
yeah, I believe Alex sends emails and stuff on non-compliance, because I don't think we can enforce anything. We can just advise them what is wrong. And then I believe he emails that over.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, good.
How have we been doing our businesses especially downtown?
He was pretty busy at the start of the year. Everybody seems pretty good about start of the year, getting on the horn with him and getting on his schedule to
Gotcha.
start getting.
Question for you, because we have zero side lot, zero setback, yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, in certain districts, and if we have a new build, okay, next to another does that have a requirement for you as fire department to how would we handle that?
As far as building code stuff,
In other words, I'm gonna build a building right next to kids and there's a zero setback. And number one, today it's harder to build that than what they did in the old days. Everything's out of brick and stone and everything, but today, so I was just curious as to what if you see a building that went up and does the fire department, would you like to have input into that? Any kind of setback?
yeah, I mean, buildings close together, they're always more receptive to, one starts and just kind of leapfrogging down. So we don't have any codes ourselves as far as building codes, and the WUI codes, that have kind of come down the pipeline from the state. My board decided to not go with those, not adopt them as of now. Just, yeah,
That's one of,
yeah, I can if you'd like me to. Okay. Yeah, it's getting crazy.
I know that our building code, like there are separate commercial, like I know the type of drywall that has to be used, there's some material things that are, not that I think that's really gonna help if Main Street goes up in flames, but.
There's things in the code for common wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But, what we worry about is not new building, but all of those old ones.
yeah, all the attics are attached and.
There's a couple in there that have 5-foot thick walls, so there's a gap in there with nothing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of,
Yeah,
potential for trouble.
Yeah, we run into that a lot with, people doing a drop ceiling or something, or even just, I know, I believe it was last summer, there was a commercial building on Main Street that, they added a different roof line, I guess, to the roof, and they just built that on top of the next one. And so us, trying to ventilate or find the fire, that definitely adds a lot of work and headache for us, but.
So question on fire prevention and control, I know you've been working with them lately.
Yeah.
Because it's so dry, but, have they done their stationing of aircraft and that kind of thing? Is that all planned out?
Yeah, so
We're in the fire season right now.
Yeah, VLM, actually, they're going, Custer County is one of like the 5 counties, they're going into stage 1 effective tomorrow.
I figured that was coming.
Yeah, DFPC, so the Firehawk that they have available right now, it's up in Centennial. There is a second one being built right now, and I think it's kind of a battle between, the Front Range and the Western Slope on who's gonna get it. With that one being in Centennial, it's looking like chances are probably it's gonna go over the Western Slope somewhere.
Are they still planning on putting 2 seats down in Canyon?
Yes, we do have 2 seats down there. A Type 2 helicopter down there available, so, yeah, as long as they're not already requested somewhere else.
It's gonna be stretched thin.
Yeah, I know they've been sending up to Nebraska to assist with those fires. I sent a crew with one of our tactical tenders on Sunday. Went up and they're supposed to be assigned to just this fire, but they're kind of having them bounce around to all of them as whatever they can reach, so.
So how does that work, like when we are looking at a fire season, like we're most likely looking at this year? Will you not be sending resources to other states? Like, is there a drop deadline for that, or? So I would hate for something to start here and all the resources are somewhere else.
Yeah, so I try to limit it, I do limit it to only 1 truck at a time. Right now, I'm the only engine boss we have, so we can't send out an engine. All we can send out is a tender. So we have the tender sent out right now. If conditions continue to worsen, I just try to keep an eye on it. They're only on a 2-week deployment. So when they come back, I'll kind of reassess again. And
So it still is a 2-week minimum deployment?
No, they will go down to a 96-hour deployment. That's usually just in state.
Driving fire.
Yeah, I went 2 years ago, I went to one up on the Front Range myself, for just a 96-hour. Those are a little harder for engines and stuff. They usually request more overhead positions for those shorter deployments, but yeah.
So basically, what I'm hearing is you have control. In other words, if they request it, it's requested probably all over the state. And then you can say, hey, I'll do one.
Yeah, so there's an online system that I have access to that, I go in there and I can pick and choose, you know, who I wanna make deployable, what apparatus I wanna make deployable and where. So our tender, we're looking good there for a little bit, so I listed it nationally. You can list them as just local, where they're just, you know, the counties that touch us, or you can do state, or you can go national, and, so this,
It does work both ways. You can call for help as well.
yeah,
So that people come here from other places. It's a mutual aid.
yeah,
In a sense.
yeah. Yeah, it's a huge process, and, yeah, you get to meet a lot of new people and stuff out on these incidents, and the big reason I push it for the firefighters is the experience. They're making good money out there and stuff, but knock on wood, they'll know a lot more when they come back here when our big incident hits, so. Yeah,
Did you say you sent a truck to Nebraska?
yes, yeah, they started out on the.
Western Nebraska is on fire.
I know.
Yeah, they started out on the Morel fire that last I saw was approaching 600,000 acres, and they spent 2 days there, no, a day there, and then how they got shifted over to the what was that one called? It's one just east of there, Cottonwood Fire, I believe. It's blown up too. They kind of bounce them around. Once the resources are committed, then they can bounce them around to, you know, what fits more better. There's more structures threatened at the other one they're on now, so they kind of just pushed them over. So it gets pretty fun.
Any other questions for Jeremiah? Good report.
All right, thank you for your time.
Good job. You're staying for the rest of the good. Next item, consideration of request. Next item is item B, consideration request to approve a special events permit. Teresa?
That would be me. We are having a spring fling fashion show out at All Aboard Westcliff, and we are requesting a special event license.
And All Aboard Westcliff.
All Aboard Westcliff.
Right. And what do you intend to, you going to serve liquor?
We have 2 people stationed at that area to pour it. It's just sangria. That's it.
Any other questions of Teresa?
When was this?
Saturday,
It's coming
This Saturday?
this Saturday.
Since you couldn't come last month.
We couldn't come last month, and then the reschedule.
I was here. Where were you, Terry?
I was here.
And Brian's gonna be modeling this.
Yes.
Yes, the Mortar Men have partnered with the boutique so that we can get the special event permit.
Are you going to be one of their models?
Well, originally, after several emails and phone calls and a restraining order, we tried to couple partner with Victoria's Secret first. That didn't pan out, and so we figured the boutique on Main would be our second choice to help out. We're just philanthropic individuals,
When to win?
The doors will open at noon, and we will close them at 3.
Do you need anything from the town, parking lots, good to go?
No, just all come. Well,
I don't know if you have anything in my size.
Noon to win, what'd you say?
I'm sorry?
Is it over?
3.
Okay. 3.
Very good.
Good job, thank you.
We need a motion to approve.
I move that we approve that.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Been moved in second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Have
Thank you,
fun.
guys.
Thank you.
So, fashions for men, for us too, or just fashions for mortar men? Look at our fire.
Yes.
Look at our
Yes.
firecrackers.
Looks like he might need one.
Item C on the agenda is discussion of Westcliff Parks Advisory Committee. Aaron and Randy.
Randy formally resigned from the Parks Committee, so currently we do not have any trustees on the committee, and we're supposed to have 2 So you guys need to figure out what you wanna do. If no one wants,
Randy is, so Chuck, Art, Bob, Kid,
I just have some questions and some things I'd like to discuss. How does this Parks Committee work? I mean, do you have to be a resident of the town to be on the Parks Committee?
no,
Why not?
never made that a requirement. We never have.
I'm just wondering if this, with as dry as it's going to be this year, I know we budgeted money for trees and things, but is it fiduciarily responsible to even consider planting a tree with as dry as it's going to be? In which case, couldn't we kind of put this off a little bit?
Well, that's kind of two questions. I don't know much about trees. My lawn is dry. What I have is lawn is dry as heck. It's almost dirt. So I don't know whether we can water them enough, Neil, to keep them healthy. Do you?
We could, as long as we spend the money on the water and have water available and have a crew around that can do it. It takes time, money, and
Sure.
materials.
Those are good questions. What was the other question? Was this?
I just said, is it fiduciary responsible to even consider, even though we budgeted trees, I don't necessarily, and Neil was saying, the resources kind of need nature to help you a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel that it's a good idea to do anything with trees this year. That's just my opinion. In which case, we could probably put off talking about a Parks Advisory Committee for a little bit.
We can. Do a discussion.
I have a question. There's no structure that's been outlined for the Parks Committee, consisting of so many people meeting so often, having such and such authority.
There is, there was a motion made, maybe you can,
I was looking for it, I couldn't find it, we looked it up previously, right, it was in the town board meeting
yeah,
minutes.
we have it here.
Well, I'm not sure where you'd like to begin. Would you like me to go over this, or would you like to?
Well, just the one where we set it in motion.
Was the first time we brought forward a presentation, and it was moved on was July 31st in 2024. We had an idea going forward for Memorial Park, and they, according to the minutes, the plans were submitted by the committee and approved and stated that an expert would be hired to move ahead with the plans. And I understand that was derailed because of certain, constraints and considerations of.
I think the one we're looking for, I should have brought my own notes.
It was,
It was, Caleb was still the town manager.
Correct, and it was before I started, so it's in that window.
so that one is the next item that I have here, and that's on July 22nd. The Board of Trustees, and that's 2005. The Board of Trustees approved by vote to establish 2 tree zones for Memorial Park. And again, I'll let you take it.
No, actually, it was a motion that put Deb Van Doren on the board.
Okay.
And at that time, it's in the minutes, I just didn't bring them with me. The proposal was that there would be 2 town board members on it and 3 other members from the public. And
I think I
that's,
remember that.
yeah, and it was before Caleb left, so it was probably in the fall, maybe in of 2024, so you don't have that one on here.
No.
Randy, do you remember that?
Yeah, I believe Caleb was one of them, and, but I don't remember. Was it you and then,
It was you and George.
Yeah.
We were the 2 board members, and then there was Caleb and Ing, and I don't remember who the other person was.
I thought it was,
Well, it's
wasn't it
gone
you?
through transition.
Yeah.
I was on in 2023.
Yeah, so it's one other person, I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was.
I thought it was you, wasn't it? I thought it was you, wasn't it?
Oh.
Which you, me?
Yeah.
Well, either it was you or Mark.
I've been asked to sit on them once in a while, but I don't think I was officially
Yeah.
part of the board
You
meeting
were
for
actually,
for the park.
Then as far as the advisory committee, for those that have been on it, do they, do you guys just kind of, I know you can't take a vote per se, but do you have a majority rule that, okay, if the majority agrees to X, then you're bringing that to the board, or how does that work?
Well, we made reports, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, but when I was on it, we made periodic reports, and you guys approved some of them. Like the one you mentioned, that you approved the 2 tree zones near the kiddie park in Memorial, one on the north and one along the cement sidewalk. And that was done while I was still on the board, and I retired for illness reasons, in last August or something, so.
And that was part of
Oh, you
the,
got this date here.
20th,
Yeah,
24 minutes.
so you guys approved that, and then the previous year you approved the big plan that we did.
We had a formal structure, in my memory serves right. I don't quite know how long, seems like back to 2023. But we've had a formal structure with board appointments. And I know Inga's been involved, I know Mark's been involved, I know Randy's been involved. I don't know who else on the board here now. I don't know if George Momery was involved.
Yeah, he was.
Yes. George was involved.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 board members. And
Caleb
then
was on it.
Caleb was, but I don't know if other citizens who were involved, non-board members.
Debbie Van Dorn was recently added, but before that, it was, as you said.
Yeah. So that's sort of the structure I remember.
After Mark left, and you came up and you said in a meeting that you wanted to do a 5-year plan.
Yes.
So that's we sort of, at that time, we're rearranging things so that we could come up with, something we wanted to do every year.
Right.
Every year. So.
Right. So, I do recall all that. That brings us back to the point of Christie's question about planting trees this year. Should we do it or not because of the dryness and the weather?
We had talked about that at the last meeting that I was in. And it was going to be one of those situations where we're probably going to have to supplementally water all those trees. So.
Right. And, so that's, I guess that's the issue here in front of us. Do we want to address this now or wait till next year? That's what Christie is bringing up. Since I'm going off the board next month, I'll leave it to you guys.
So you can be on the committee as a citizen. You can be on the committee. as a citizen.
Thank you for that. I have a brown thumb. Mark?
I'm on the water board.
Excuse me?
And I'm not restrained by being on 2 boards like Randy is. We have a meeting on Thursday. If you want, I can bring up the notion whether at this point in time, Round Mountain has any thoughts about having to restrict their water supply.
It's too early we don't know what sort of ditch water we're going to be getting or anything else. But, the reservoirs, from what I remember, I think we're full on our allocation on the reservoirs. It just depends on how dry it's gonna get,
All our water is out of wells, Randy, that we deliver to the city.
Right, but yes, we pump it out of the wells, but Lake Deweese is where we hold our acreage feet to be able to pump out of the wells. So the augmentation.
Augmentation water, yeah.
So.
I just want to say that regardless of that, just having been in the valley, as a grown-up for over 30 years at this point, I can't look at the winter we've had and feel like we're being responsible if we're watering new trees. I mean, obviously, we need to take care of the ones we have. And then when I look at our sales tax revenue, that makes me nervous as well. And I just feel like we may need to have to allocate resources to other places. And I don't, as much as I love trees and flowers and that adds to the beauty of our community, I just think this might be a unique year like we haven't
Yeah, our
seen in a long
sales,
time.
our sales tax is down to what, a little over 7% for January. That's the lowest it's been in a.
Well, it was down last year, over the year before,
Yeah,
and the year
all
before. So the last 3 years in January, it's been below the previous year. However, December was up substantially, so, you know, we have to wait a little bit till things start to, this is March now, which, you know, we don't get the report for 2 months from the state. But anyway, all right, let's go back to the issue.
Well, I think, you know, we're going around and we're basically at this point, we have no committee, right, other than Inc. Inc's the only active one.
Debbie Vandermark.
Debbie, oh, yeah, Inc and Debbie, we have no trustee, so.
Then you don't have a committee.
Don't have, exactly, so, because it always have to have one trustee at least, right? Or to do this.
Supposed to have two, but I've been asking a couple people around and, you know.
So anyway, so I guess maybe with the water, potential water situation, maybe we go this year and maintain and then regroup the group and then just be ready for next year, you know.
I'm pretty much in agreement that I think we need to be responsive to the conditions. And if it's gonna be as dry as it is, we're not gonna want to go out and be watering new things when people in town are gonna, you know, they're all gonna be having to deal with water and using more water.
This guy's gonna need more water this year.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we even developed a plan, remember, to draw out of the pool and stuff to try and meet the fire flow to get the ISO rating down. So I mean, there's a lot of things connected with this water. You know, Round Mountain has 2 ways of controlling water use. One is restrictions and the other one is getting the price up to where people don't buy as much. And to be frank with you, whatever they have to do, they have to do. Their management is based on their supply and demand. And we have to think about what we're gonna do with water. I'm kind of inclined to go along with the idea of maintaining the status quo and taking care of what we have. And not really adding anything new to it. Now, if we have something that's already been approved, I don't know how to back up on that. I don't feel comfortable necessarily doing that, but planting a new tree out there and everybody having a tough time watering their grass is a little bit on the wrong side of the spectrum to me.
Well, you're right, Kit, you know, we're gonna irrigate our parks, I assume.
Yes, sir. It takes a lot of water for 7 parks to get water.
Yeah, and so
Trees.
that will chap some people, but we do have the parks, we don't want them to fall into disrepair. There was a year that, was it 3 years ago, Neil, where Round Mountain cut us in half in terms of our water usage?
I think it's
4? And we had just, the parks just turned terrible, lots of weeds and terrible, but they're better now, much better, thanks to good management, so.
At that time, we got it blown out well.
Right. Well,
That
still,
was-
but the point is, you know, if we have to stop irrigating everything, people at their homes have to stop irrigating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're gonna be pissed off.
Yeah, I think we need to lead by example. I mean, if we see that, if we can look outside right now and know that we're sitting at, 40% of the average or something right now, then we should be responsible and, you know, and not start adding a bunch of new stuff that's gonna require water, and let's lead by example and hope that other people take our lead and don't decide to plant grass this year or whatever.
Mark had something he wanted to say.
So I'm just gonna point out that, the amount of water used on the turf is huge compared to the trees. And, you know, you planted 8 trees, the amount of water that they would take compared to all the parks is a fraction of 1%. I understand that the leading by example. It would seem to me, if you want to do that, then you gotta quit watering the turf.
Well, but the trees, we already have trees.
Not many, and they're disappearing, Paul.
But we want to have more trees.
Indeed.
And, we lost a couple of trees at a just price, did we? Did we?
Yeah, several.
2 or 3, or 4, 5, 4?
Yes, sir.
And we probably want to replace those. We do irrigate just price anyway. So it's gonna get irrigated one way or the other. If we have to use more water for these trees than the normal irrigation of the park, normal irrigation of the grass, then maybe we should hold off and just wait and see what happens. You never know. We could get snows and rains in the spring. We've done that before. We could get snow in April, clearly, done that before. So I think it's good to have it on the agenda. Ying?
I would just want to add, I understand perfectly what you're saying and the example and the trees being watered. But I don't see that our conditions will rapidly change to where we have, back to normal snowfall, rainfall in the future, the near future. And also, please remember, even if you do decide to go ahead with trees, it's a long-term commitment, not just this year, but for the next 5 years of watering. So it's something to really commit to. And as a person very involved in gardening in the garden club, it's awfully difficult to see trees planted and then not thrive.
Yeah.
Chuck?
Is there a plan, as I understand that the water and the grass and the parks is a very water consuming thing. Is there a plan on which parks have priority in the case that we have to start cutting down water use?
We've never really talked about that. We've got, let's just go through the parks. We got Just Price Park. Of course, that's a new park. And there's things in there that's still getting established, I would imagine. And we lost 5 trees other than that because of lack of water, they died. They're aspens, weren't they?
And part of it was from the damage of redoing that park. They tore up the roots.
Yeah. So we had to replace them. Have you replaced those?
No. Yes, some of them have been replaced, not the aspens, no.
Okay.
But along the border, around the backside, those are all new. They need water.
Yeah. So we should be watering right now,
We have been.
So then there's the Bluff, of course. And these parks are heavily used by people, every one of them. So the Bluff Park and then the one adjacent to it, they're all used. I see people picnicking in there, running their dogs in there. Hopefully they pick up after them. I know that the Baptists have a big Easter egg hunt there and so on and so forth. So and then we have Memorial Park, that's heavily used. I don't know if all of it is, but certainly the front part where the playgrounds are and the swings and so forth. And people picnic there. Then we have Hermit Park. There's soccer kids playing there all the time. So, our parks are used. And somebody told me that, I can't remember whether it was Mike, I guess, when he was our town manager, went to a meeting and he said, "You have 5 parks?" He said, "Yeah, we'd give anything to have 5 parks." People love parks. They love to use them. And it's a very affordable means of entertainment for the family and the kids and everything like that. They're safe. So, I don't think we don't have some say, you're on the bottom of the list, you die, type of thing. So, anyway,
That was just a question.
Yeah, we don't-
I was curious to that.
Between.
Mark?
Yeah, I understand all this, and if the decision is not, excuse me, one of the reasons we were pushing for the trees, and even in the last meeting talked about smaller ones that make shade, is the way I put it is the moms. In the summer, when all those kids are there, you see people huddled together looking for shade. Sometimes they're even on the north side of the bathroom building, right? And I remember one day, I think Caleb and I were pacing things out. There was a group of moms in the morning. They were on the west side of that one big pine tree that's north of the kiddie playground. At noon, they were on the north, and then they moved around, And we've thought for the safety of the kids and for the well-being of their parents, that there should be some shade. So maybe, if we're not gonna do trees, maybe some of that money can be spent on shade alternatives, which you've looked into and we did in our original plan, did we not?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
structures,
we talked about
like a shade structure or something?
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
They gotta be right, you know, it's a windy place, we all know that, so it's gotta be done right, but that could be a
Would that be a
compromise.
permanent structure, or would that just be like a temporary?
Plan, well, we have it in that long plan.
Yeah, permanent structures, maybe picnic table with, you know,
Yeah, like,
they're on the market, there's big ones and little ones, right?
It's like a
Yes.
tarp. And big poles set in the ground.
Right, and you have big, almost like a tent, but it's not a tent, it's just, they have, they used to have one down in, where the grotto is down by the old West Cliff or whatever it is, the feed store, where they had the, Shakespeare in the Park. They had some sort of a sail over the top of that.
I like that.
That would, give you some shade.
I just, my question is always, how is that gonna impact Neil and the work that his crew does?
Initially, for building it, it'd be a contractor, or we could do it by just drilling holes. We have to get it located. But once it's up, there's no maintenance really, except wintertime. We have a choice to either take it down or spray it with certain cleaning and preservative chemicals that would make it longevity, or we can take it down.
Seems like a more responsible approach dealing with the drought that we deal with.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we get this committee going and then, it'd be the committee proposed to us if we build this.
What I was gonna, to be my suggestion is if you decide to continue with the committee, from some of the comprehensive plans for the town, part of our job that I remember is to be a liaison to the community to find out what they need and then make that proposal to you. As he said, the shade is one thing. That's something we could research, we could come back. I know that Neil has often talked about the surface of the playground. That's also something that possibly, you know, I know you've researched some, we could research more. I'm not trying to make work for the committee. If you don't feel that the committee serves a purpose at this time, it could certainly be put on hold or disbanded. But there would be some things I think we could bring to the board of value if so directed.
Okay. Well, we don't have once Randy has resigned, so we have by our ordinance, if there is one there, are we looking for one?
I'm looking for the minutes. I believe it was in now. I couldn't find it in the ordinances or resolutions.
But, my memory is we had 2 board members and 3 community members, and we don't have that anymore. But are you saying, Mark, you want to work with Hank on this?
I don't think that's what he's saying.
Well, you know, if you come up with an idea, you gotta support it, so, yeah, I'll stay on the committee.
If you'll just,
And I can send Melanie I know the minutes, you and I got them that.
I know. I've looked through all of it.
I'm sorry.
let's get back on the shade cloth.
Okay,
And maybe you guys can find some things in the literature you have and work with Neil, come back with a recommendation to us. How does that work?
sure.
Are you just asking them to do that as a couple of people? I mean, because we don't have so you're asking them to be nice and do the right thing? Thank you.
I mean,
Yes.
And then,
if we found, going back.
We're not gonna find these minutes.
Yeah, you can always change the constituent parts of the committee. I mean, we decided to have 2 board members just to have a feel for the sentiment, and if one of them couldn't make it and all that. And always wanted to keep the board in touch with what the committee was doing, but it could be 1.
It could be, but it doesn't look like any hands are shooting up in the air. Well, Chuck will be on it.
Yay!
Thank you.
So Chuck would be on. So now Chuck, you and Mark and Inge are gonna do this.
Debbie.
I have a question of just,
What?
Mr. Chairman, the shade cloth that you're talking about, this is just some cloth stretched?
It could be shade cloths, you know, the cable ones, or depending on what we want to spend, it could be something more permanent. There's a lot of those things on the market.
The
They're
shade,
metal, you
the
know.
shade cloth is permanent on poles and you can replace them if the canopies start tearing or weathering and disintegrating.
I just have a feeling that something made out of cloth is gonna be a canopy in Silver Cliff. Instead of here. Goes to their part.
No, it's made for high winds. These are, industrial strength, hurricane.
And then they're cable to the ground or something, is that?
They're on poles with cables over top of the play equipment.
I see.
Maybe it needs to be on next month's agenda, but maybe since we had budgeted, I wanna say 30,000 for trees. Maybe we need to, maybe we need to make a budget modification and put a portion of that money toward these, if you guys came back with some price information or something. But that would have to be an agenda item, wouldn't it?
Well, we've been back on the agenda as a own business, I guess. So we'll have one thing to do.
There you go.
One comment or one question. I'm not familiar with, what size trees were you talking about? I don't want to give up on the trees, but. No, we won't. What size were you talking about putting in?
Personally, having gone through the master gardening process of tree planting, and that general wisdom is it doesn't have to be a massive tree. In fact, it's better to put something like 10 or 12-foot tall tree, treat it well, feed it, and it will soon grow to be at least a tree that would give some shade over time. Moving large trees are highly expensive and are prone to failure, especially in our dry, high climate. So my suggestion would be something between 10 to 15 feet, with 12 being optimum.
How many years does it take to grow 20 feet or so to great?
It depends on the species of tree very much, and that would be another function of the committee, is to recommend these trees with this canopy, with this growth rate, with this water requirement.
So you're still looking at years before you have
Shade.
shade.
Yeah, but that's a good shade.
We in the past had talked about clustering trees. You know, so, especially when it comes to the moms moving east, north, west, they don't have to be monsters if there's a
We can
group
just
of them.
put parasols out there in a little container.
They wouldn't.
That's a shade.
We're, we're gonna discuss trees. We're trying to resolve something with the shade this summer and then, go from there. So we'll put it back on the agenda for next month. And we'll, hopefully you guys will have something to bring to us.
Yes, if Chuck's wants to be on that committee, then you would just appoint him, correct?
Yes, I do. It's a voluntary thing.
So,
See, like you got appointed and you quit.
no, yeah, I got appointed by you.
Yeah, all right, so well, my recommendation to the board is that we appoint Chuck Yago as.
Do you need a motion to that effect?
I'm sorry?
It does say a motion.
In the past,
It says
motion.
discussion of West
I make
Coast
a
Parks
motion that
Advisory.
we accept Chuck's gracious volunteer to the committee.
Yes.
I'll second it.
All right, it's been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You're aboard, Chuck. You're somebody now.
Do I get my pay doubled now?
Yeah, you did.
0 times 0 times 2 is still 0.
All right, very good. Moving on now.
Mr. Chairman, there was another thing mentioned in this same discussion about moving something to the PC. That's the planning commission, am I right?
Yes.
I don't know who the members of the planning commission are. Can I ask that question right now?
I'm on it, and the mayor's on it. John Van Doren as the chairman.
Brian
Sorry?
Clintz.
Yeah, Brian Clintz is on, Chuck is on it, and then we have one other member from the community, do we not?
Leslie Parks.
Yeah, Wesley Park.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, and then when then Christie, when she becomes mayor, will be on that committee that's the ordinance of the law. So, okay then, if we can't fill out a Parks Committee the way we want it to in terms of two town board members, unless we change the composition, it'll have to go into the town committee, into the place we can hold it in terms of our organization for the town. I mean, it'd have to go there. We have no other committee that's a permanent committee that can house it. So, but, you know, we can discuss that at the time. See where it goes. What are you scowling at me for?
Not scowling. That's how I always work.
All right. Okay, item D, consideration request to approve ordinance 12026, adopting the Colorado Wildfire Resiliency Code. This is related to Senate Bill 23166. Our attorney recommends that we approve it. The code is in your packet. I have waded through that thing. I'm not so sure we should adopt it. So we will start with our attorney and let him give us his briefing.
Before you start with it, I need to tell you guys that I went to the fire department board meeting the other night and they did not approve it. Silver Cliff hasn't approved it, the county didn't approve it, the fire department didn't approve it, so it'd be kind of stupid for us to approve it. And I took notes of everything too.
No, but I'd like to know what our attorney says.
Sure. Yeah. Well, you certainly didn't put the words in my mouth, but I did want to clarify that I am not suggesting approval. As written, the law does say that municipalities need to adopt by April 1st, and the code goes into effect July 1st. But as you are well aware, there's a lot of uncertainty around the state, and a lot of municipalities are choosing not to do so. I can go into more detail. Some of it would be sort of speculation on my part, but I can highlight the issues or the risks or the aims of the law, but that's my overarching summary.
What would be the risks that we would have for not adopting it?
Yeah, and again, it's a little bit unknown. I mean, I think this is a unique law. The ones I would highlight most off the bat are potential insurance issues for people looking to do new builds or significant remodels. I don't know that would happen, but you know, you could put yourself in the shoes of an insurer, and if they think there's a fire risk and the materials or the addition you're doing increases that, they may choose either not to insure you or dramatically up your costs. So that is a speculated ramification. I don't know that anyone has hard numbers or knows the impacts that might have. Additionally, you could find, I mean, I think one aim of this was for just sort of standards for the construction industry, developers, fire departments. If you're just in a different camp than everyone else, you stick out a little bit for a sore thumb. It could cause some delays or paperwork snafus. Again, pure speculation. And then I think worst case scenario is, you know, you have a significant fire or a really, really bad fire, and no matter what code you've got, you're going to face lawsuits. But one allegation would be, you know, you're not in compliance with state law and you're approving building permits or otherwise allowing construction that is not in accordance with this board's developed code.
Okay. Jeremiah, what do you have to say about it?
So yeah, our attorney was on the phone as well. And kind of originally he's pushing us to, or pushing my board to approve it, just because he can't legally tell us not to. But his kind of what it came down to with my board was there's too many unknowns. There's no penalties right now in any kind of writing saying that we can be penalized for not adopting the code. We have no funds. They're not providing any funds to enforce the code. They don't have any ramifications for any of it. So my board kind of approved to not necessarily not approve it, but just they're not going to adopt it for now until there's kind of more stuff comes from the state on it.
But as a volunteer fire department, do you even have to entertain approving or not approving it?
As a municipality, we had to. It came down to, I think, the two towns, the county and the fire district had to. And that was kind of my question was if, I attended the Silver Cliff town meeting was, both the towns and, 90% of the county are within Wet Mountains Fire District. So if the fire district were to adopt it, what's that do to the towns and the counties? As far as liability, stuff like that, I wasn't too sure.
Right. Okay. Any other
Question I had is this started in 23. This is when the legislature approved this. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
23, so how come we didn't know about this or whatever? Is it?
Well, some of that, we attended, and I did not attend it, but Jeremy Handy did. And there was a person from the state there and he said, just talking about the different materials that they would approve and wouldn't approve, like fiberglass windows would be approved. Well, they melt in the fire and so fire can come into the house. So, but they approved that. And other, like asphalt shingles are approved. Whereas if you have metal shingles like I do on my house, you have to have a certain kind of underlayment. And so on and so forth. So, and so then you get down to, well, who's going to enforce it? Well, the fire department. We have a volunteer fire department. They can't do that. And is the state going to? Then they're thinking about the state is thinking about enforcing it themselves.
Yeah, right.
Well, so maybe it's like electricity and plumbing in a house. The state enforces that code. But then they would have to have, they can't do it, it has to have somebody who can do that. So I think they have a long way to go before they can get this implemented and be effective. And it's a massive document.
Yeah, it is.
Horrible.
I did want to provide just with that 2023 date. I don't know if you guys looked at the law. Obviously, what's in front of you is very focused on the code and the ordinance, but the law was very focused on establishing a board, having that board do a lot of public outreach and develop the map. And that's the key, I would say, most of all, is the map that then determines what your areas are classified as, that then dictate what materials are needed for the different areas. And so that has been an ongoing process. And then I do think there's been a lot of wait and see from everyone from the get-go on this because there's just a lot. It's a bold new approach that probably doesn't have a lot of precedent. And so therefore, I think a lot of figuring it out as they go has been occurring.
We'd have to change building codes. We would have to probably come up with codes for the landscaping. You'd have to get a permit. And have somebody come over and check your landscaping.
Yeah.
You know,
Bushes within your trees, you can't have.
Yeah, I mean,
This contemplates a totally separate permit
yeah,
that you would have to get, that would have a landscaping plan.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
would have certification of your materials as far as fire time, 30-hour codes, 1-hour codes, half-hour codes. All of those things would have to be done, and I have a question for Mr. Smith, that in the ordinance that you prepared, it said that the bill 23-166 requires approval by the municipality. Is that, so that's a shall, not a may, right?
You talking to me? Sorry, you just said Mr. Smith. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's me. So the actual law does say shall. I do think, again, a lot of this was probably, and you're not to say you guys are not a mountain community, but I think the mountain corridor drove a lot of this potentially. And so it was written that, home rule municipalities can pass their own code. This sets the floor. Because you guys are a statutory municipality, it takes a little bit of that like flexibility away. And the law says municipalities shall adopt by, it doesn't actually say April 1st in the law. It was tied to the date that the board had to set for adoption. And the date that the board adopted the code established July 1st, 2026 as when these rules will go into effect. And it required adoption by municipalities 3 months prior to that. So that established the April, but it is a shall, and that's why.
Really, this is a study in procrastination then. We're getting to it in March.
Yeah, and I think some of that is related to the practical. I mean, again, you're not alone. It's on a lot of my clients' agendas these days. I think the map has had some practical problems. I mean, I don't know if any of you went and kind of played around on it, and your jurisdiction is all in the moderate range, but for any that kind of cross over, you drill down and you can't tell. And so there's just been a lot of complaints and I think a lot of waiting for the first shoe to fall or, see what happens if someone doesn't pat. I'm just speculating, but yeah, you're not alone in being kind of behind the 8 ball.
I haven't seen a map.
It's online.
Yeah, sorry. So it's an online tool. I don't know if it's worth looking at or postponing or but it essentially just drills down. Again, your entire town, as far as I could tell, was entirely in the moderate risk category, but the map may or may not even apply to some jurisdictions. They're still required to adopt it because that map can change in future.
It doesn't sound like a tool if that's what's going to be used to enforce it. It sounds like a little more than a tool.
Right.
It's
right in the title of the code, it says Colorado wildfire. Are we exposed to wildfire here in town?
the way that it's defined in the law, yes.
We are, huh?
Based
Yes.
on the map.
But
Then we
they,
don't
of course, didn't consult us.
Can I?
Yeah, sure.
I just wanted to say a little bit about what I learned when I went to that meeting the other night. That the fire department talked about this for like an hour. They didn't just quit, it wasn't just a quick, they really talked about if they should move forward with this. And the biggest thing was the ambiguity of it. It's, what did you guys call it? I would say a feel good lot, but you have like a word for it. Like
I think I said well-intentioned. I don't know if that is
but
true.
the fire department, they had some, like a shushy or something, I forget, but anyway, they said that, so their attorney said that if they didn't adopt it, they would be violating the statute for not adopting, but there's no penalty set up for not adopting it yet. And the state doesn't have the resources to assist. There was big concern that this is almost a step one in there being statewide building control. And then the other thing that was discussed is like in Chaffey County, where they have adopted the 2021, I believe it is, building code. This is already incorporated into that building code. And you can talk to builders that build the same house in multiple subdivisions, and they built this house before that 2021 code passed, and they built this house right after it. And this house cost them $70,000 more to build. So this is sort of step one of that becoming maybe the state handing down, making us all bring our building codes up. That would, you can forget about affordable housing if that happens. There were some options of what the fire department could do if they did adopt it and the towns didn't, and it would have to do with maybe charging the communities for some services that they otherwise provide, for free per se right now. But at the end of the day, there's nothing that says, there's nothing in this that says what happens if a town doesn't adopt the code, if the fire departments don't adopt the codes, and then anyone over 35 acres their properties are exempt anyway, which of course doesn't apply to us, but, and then the other thing was, after much consideration, their code, which was 26-03, the 2025 WRC, died on the floor for no motion or second. And I know that the county also didn't vote for it, and the town of Silver Cliff didn't vote for it.
Do we know what Fremont County did?
I believe Fremont County's commissioners also shut it down.
Okay. Chafee or not Chafee, but Werfenau?
Where, I think they're still in discussion, still exploring.
Well, we don't even have a building code in the county. So, anyway, so we need to have a motion to approve or deny this.
I make a motion, we don't adopt it.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Discussion? Further discussion?
Unfunded mandate.
Until it's
Unfunded
amended.
mandate. Plus, I think we ought to stay unified with our sister
Yeah.
and
Brother,
brothers.
move in second. The other thing you said about 35 acre zones or 80 acre zones are exempt.
Yeah.
That is out county. And, so a lot of these, lots are gonna be exempt anyway.
There's no to our border.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Consideration request to approve Christie Patterson as a signatory to the United Business Bank account accounts. We have to approve that, and I don't know if it's gonna die for a vote. I'll move that Christie Patterson be added to our signatory as United Business Bank account accounts.
I second it.
Moved in second, yes?
Discussion? Discussion, I think we should have more people on it than, because right now there's only you and me.
Yeah.
You can sign checks, so we get Christie on there, there's only Christie then and myself. So we need some other people just for a backup, an emergency.
Would the pro tem be the next logical person to have sign one, whoever that person may be?
Yeah, that would be a good
next?
idea, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'd be
Let's-
easier just to have everyone go back in and do it all at once.
Okay, but now you create another problem because if we just put Christie on there, then it has to be approved at the next meeting, correct? The minutes have to be approved at the next meeting.
No, this
No,
we
no.
approved at this meeting.
Then it'll be approved at this meeting, but because we haven't approved the agenda for this meeting, correct?
Yeah, the agenda has to go to the bank, doesn't it?
The agenda has to go to the bank.
The minutes or the agenda?
I'm sorry, the minutes, yes, the minutes. I'm mistaken. So then if we come up and we decide, well, we need another person, then we gotta do the whole process all over again. Correct?
Well, I only have one more month to serve,
Yeah, but I mean,
and so.
That's what I was saying, when
I'm
you
getting
do it-
old enough, I can't even spell my name anymore. So,
Next month you're screwed, Randy.
well.
But,
I'm not going anywhere in April or May, so we could put another person on and make it effective in May. I mean, I'll be around April and May, and if you're gonna be around April and May to sign checks because really, we only sign checks like after we pass the bills, then we used to sign the
sign
next
checks,
day,
yeah.
sign checks the next day.
Sometimes, I mean, most of the time I do most of the bills the end of the month, but sometimes there's checks that need to go out right away and I call Randy
Not a cycle.
and yeah, like
paychecks, for
capital
example.
fund type stuff.
But Randy's point is that if we're gonna go through all the hullabaloo,
Yeah.
we do one, do them both together and get it done. And
Yeah.
have more than just two.
Are you available to sign for April then?
Yeah, in fact, I'm available to sign even,
He's already on them.
I'm already on it, but we still have to,
We have a motion
when
on
we
the
do it,
floor.
hang on, Paul. We still have to square it away with the banks if we then, so then you're gonna have myself still on there, correct?
Correct. Yes.
But we'll still have to run it through the bank as myself and then Christie.
Right.
And
And
then we'd have to do it again. So why don't we just appoint somebody else right now at this time, so we don't have to duplicate it a month later?
You do that, that's not with the,
We don't have it on the agenda.
yeah.
And plus Paul's got to be taken off, so that's.
So I could still be on it until I drop off the
Yeah.
board.
hey,
But-
Dan, can we do that on this? Can we add another person right now?
For sure. Yeah. And I have seen as like sort of common practice, every time you have to touch this for a bank, just include the full list of authorized signers. If does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, well, because you're asking, because it's not on the agenda, Dan, so.
Only Christie's on this.
Yeah, I mean, it could be splitting hairs. I think I would classify this agenda item as considering who needs to be a signatory for the town. And during your discussion, you've identified someone. And if you're wanting to make a motion and consider it, the motion language will, suffice in terms of the notice to the public.
Okay.
We have a motion on the floor, to move and approve and discussed. Further discussion?
Well, so could this motion then die
This
and
could
then
die and we can
a
do it
second
again.
motion could be made to put and just do two people at once?
We could do that.
Correct, yes.
So who made the motion? Randy?
You made the original.
I made the original. I'm gonna withdraw my motion. I don't know how that works, but I just did it.
Just let it
And,
die.
who's gonna wanna volunteer to sign checks? I will. Okay, Chuck. So we'll have Randy, Chuck, and Christie.
Well, yeah, we have to make a motion.
Yes,
I'll make a
just saying
motion
that's
that
what
we
we'll
add
have.
Christie, Patterson, and Chuck Yeager
Okay.
to signatory.
Okay, so,
Where's that R at?
I'm sorry. I got brain damage.
all right, I'll second. Well, good for you. For the discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. It's not gonna be
Okay,
easy.
motion's approved. Any additions to the agenda? All right, and staff and committee reports. Streets Park Super, Neil? Uh-oh.
Getting serious.
I'd like to introduce a new member, and this is Mickey Kendrick. He's full-time. He's gonna probably take my place when I retire, which I turn 65 in a few months, so I may be retiring pretty soon.
65.
We also have a temporary part-time person, Deontay. He's just on board, so we got 5 people right now. Got 3 full-time, 2 part-time. And one of the part-time persons, she's been with us for 4 or 5 months. She's fixing to have surgery, so we wish her the best in her endeavors, and she's not gonna be working for a little while she recuperates. We just got 2 new trucks. Thank you all for approving that. And we have to still get them outfitted for snowplows and a sander in one of the trucks. So we have a Chevrolet 5500 white that we're gonna get outfitted with truck and with a plow and a sander. We have a brand new 2500 Chevrolet that is a service truck, box truck on the back. We'll also try to get a plow on that. Probably not a sander. I don't think we need 2 sanders, and I'm not sure it's gonna fit. We're still trying to look at Paul Winky's favorite sweeper. That's in the works. They're batting around different ones. Some of them that we were looking at are already sold. One of them was determined a mechanical failure, so we're not gonna pursue that one. And we're still looking at a few other sweep trucks, so we can sweep up the town. Paving bids are in.
Well, I'm sorry, I just think a sweeper makes the town look a lot nicer, but it also helps with,
It's easier.
yeah, a lot of other things we do.
Right now for sweeping, we have a skid steer attachment that'll go on the front of our loader. It's slow, doesn't clean it very well. It takes 4 or 5 passes to get the street clean, and it's not made for miles and miles of street. It's made for just a small parking lot or job site. So hopefully we'll get a sweeper truck here pretty soon. Paving bids are in, so we're gonna try to get 3/4 of a mile paved for our budget of $250,000.
Who's a low bid?
Low bid right now is Oak Paving out of Pueblo. I'm waiting on the 3rd one to come in out of Salida, and he's telling me we should have it by Friday, but
3/4.
we may get started paving next week. Oak is gonna do some stuff for, Silver Cliff, it sounds like, some rotor milling things, so he may get paving next week while school's out. Well, hopefully we'll get that done. Fertilizer, we're gonna have to start fertilizing the parks. They're starting to green up. Weeds are coming in, so we need to start spraying weeds, just so the town and the public knows that we're gonna do weed killer in the parks and on the streets and the curbs, gutters, stuff like that.
Better make sure everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but at least we.
So we do weed and feed in the parks?
We do weed and feed in the parks in the spring with the fertilizing outfit that we have. In the middle of the growing season, we will fertilize again using some bug killer and some weed killing properties. So, and then in the winter, we put in winterizer that also has some pre-emerge weed killer in it that helps get rid of weeds in the wintertime. Main Street will get shut down tomorrow for 3 days between 6th Street and 4th Street so that Round Mountain Water, a contractor, can repair the water main at 501 Main Street. Hopefully the detours will be in place correctly. We'll help monitor and watch traffic and make sure they're going the right way, not running down alleys 90 miles an hour, etc. Businesses that are between 4th and 5th Street, we may have to try to help direct traffic around to those businesses. No,
Don't we have to do that through the state though? I mean, that's
the state has already been approved, the plan's already in place. That's why they're starting tomorrow. It finally got approved by the state, CDOT. The shade thing that you guys were talking about is gonna be a pole system. I've already been looking at it, trying to get set up over that playground, only the playground and right there by the bathroom, so we can put a couple more picnic tables under it. It's estimated at $5,000 to $25,000, approximately 6 poles and 6 pieces of triangle shade or octagon shade pieces. So the company's supposed to be getting with me to send out a rep to finalize and get actual numbers, more detail on what it'd take to put it in. As far as I know, all we're gonna do is locate, make sure we're not hitting water, electric, sewer, stuff like that. Them round poles go on the ground about 3 to 4 feet. And they stay up forever. So if the tarps tear, we just replace the tarps. That's cheap compared to a whole new system. And it provides immediate shade, not waiting years for trees to put in shade. I just want to thank the board and everybody for your support, taking care of the town.
Yeah, you've gotten hold of, Round Mountain on the streets you're going to be repaving?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I have. So
I had a feeling you did, but I just wanted to make sure.
I did. Is there anything anybody has for us that needs done?
The sheriff is in the loop on that when you close the street, right? So that he'll have people out to slow people down on 6th Street coming
The
in.
sheriff was talked to. I don't remember how briefly. He had a call, they had to go. Communications did pick back up, and I don't know what all transpired for that, because I wasn't involved in all the conversations. But I'll ask him in the morning to make sure.
I'll stop by this afternoon.
And what streets are being repaved?
Good question. So I didn't actually pick a specific streets to get paved. I went with square feet. So we're around 85,000 square feet. We're hoping to pave streets that's gonna take care of 10th behind school, 7th Street over here by the school parking lot and the laundromat. We want to pave part of Bassick here all the way down to the Four Corners. We got 3rd Street and 5th Street also in once we figure out exactly how many square feet that they're gonna allow us to do for 250,000, then we'll know exactly which streets we're gonna get done.
You said 3rd Street, so that'd be between,
Rosita and Edwards,
okay,
5th Street between Edwards and Rosita. It's the ones that are all jagged because the pavement isn't level. And we got all them like different thicknesses and
yeah,
a real steep slope over to the curb and gutter. So hopefully we can get
asphalt,
that.
and then they put chip seal over.
Yes, sir. We're gonna try to get those rotor milled down, smoothed out and shaped correctly.
You got all our houses done, right?
Your house,
Say like-
your street was done before.
I've lived in the same house for 21 years and I've never seen it done in front of my place.
Another question on that closure, that'll leave Fourth Street open, right?
Fourth Street is the detour route. Fourth Street from Main to Rosita, up Rosita to Sixth Street, and then Sixth Street back to wherever they gotta go.
So Fourth Street, that's, your south scams.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little tough getting to Fourth, over Main to Fourth Street, but we got big trucks.
You guys got sirens?
They're pretty good.
You got sirens?
Their trucks are pretty big, just hit them.
GVW.
That's right.
Okay.
Big trucks with sirens rule. Anything else for me?
Thanks, Neil.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Welcome,
Mike.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I had one more.
That speech.
I believe was, Bob was saying, Adams Drive there, Adams Boulevard, where we're going to finish that concrete work this year? Was that?
Sidewalk?
Yeah,
No.
not this year.
money.
Okay.
We don't have the money right there.
That's on the plan.
We're not. I
That's
couldn't
all
remember what it was or not.
tap funds, yeah.
Okay,
the election is April 7th. We mailed out ballots today. So citizens can mail them, drop them off here. We're gonna unlock the drive-through ballot thing. So from 8 to 5, and then on actual election day, from 7 to 7, we will be open for people to drop off their ballots.
Well, I'd like to know, since nobody's running really, no competition, what if nobody votes? Good.
We need one.
Yeah, we just need one.
All right, there you go.
Close the room.
All right, anything else?
Not for me.
And we have,
Questions for
I'm sorry?
Aaron. I have questions for Aaron.
Sure.
And it might be an agenda item, but what do we do, or maybe it's for the board, what do we do if a business doesn't pay their business license renewal? Do we have any teeth in that ordinance?
I don't recall the ordinance well enough.
I honestly don't know.
I couldn't find anything, so.
I mean, I don't think we have the authority to like shut down a business.
I believe we're, right, and it's $25. I
It's
mean,
for the
so.
renewal.
Yeah, right,
You could lien the property.
right, that's
Yeah,
what
we
we
could
could,
do that.
What if the business doesn't own the property?
You'd still lean it.
yeah, and then they have to go through the renter to,
comes up with their taxes.
I just wondered.
We just give it
And I also wondered for Aaron, and again, this is probably a whole board question, but since Paul's leaving, we need to have a party for you. And so when does that work for you?
And are you gonna pay for it?
You don't really need to have a party for me.
Oh, you would like a party?
Just
Come
have to
on.
name something. The one thing, if you name something after me, I don't want it to be the Paul Wiki Memorial.
You named the street sweeper after you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm available all summer.
Okay, well.
You
So
don't have
I'm
any
not-
7-week trips?
I'm not gonna go on any trips anymore. I've gone, I've done it.
so we should talk to
Being gone for
Hope,
2 months
is what
is
you're
a
saying.
long
I
time.
think that's probably the best bet.
What'd you say?
Talk to Hope
Yeah, there you
is
go.
the best bet.
I think a little plaque on the new shelters would be good.
Pardon me?
The bathroom.
Thank Paul Winkie for the shade.
Yeah. Thank you, Shane.
On the polls.
Polls,
Just little things, that's good.
Anyway. Who's Wanda Jennings? Why is she on here? Is she with us tonight?
She
Wanda?
wanted to sit in because she misses us.
Does she really? Would like to see her.
She's over
She's
here.
not there anymore.
No, you don't want to see me.
Hey, hi, Wanda. We do miss you.
I miss everyone there very, very much. Jerry and I have even talked about moving back.
Well, come on back.
Yay, do it.
We really, your job never really got filled well.
Oh, excuse me.
No comment. It's good to see everyone.
Thanks, Juan.
Well, which is good to hear you, Juan.
Yes, good to hear you. Sir, I think we
got
talked
parks.
about the Parks Advisory Committee report. Is there a report?
I that on there for
Okay.
all this.
Anything else to come before?
I just,
Yes, sir. Oh,
you guys,
okay,
go ahead. Start there.
Bob and I have gone through the facade grants. We'll present them next month on what we found. We also went through the facade application and we tweaked it here and there. We also will bring that to the board and see if you will approve that. There's been things over the years that we really need to tweak, so.
Sure, very good, very good. And what I want to report is, looks like we'll be able to decide, select a contractor this Friday for the, water and sewer, down south of town.
So when are we're gonna be here?
Friday was the only day Dave Schneider was
Yeah, but
available.
are we going to be here?
Yeah, we can, yeah.
What time?
It's not set up yet.
We don't have, it's not set up yet.
Not set up.
Okay.
We left Friday open all day,
Yeah.
so,
Well, you're all welcome, certainly welcome to attend that,
yeah,
so.
very exciting. And,
Yeah, it is exciting.
and, the bids, three,
Three.
we had three bidders. Two of the three came in lower than we expected, so really happy about that.
Okay.
And it should, within our budget, what we had the grant for.
Now, Melanie, didn't you have a bid opening for something?
I did for the LPC grant.
Yes.
Yes.
And when is that gonna be?
It's out, the last day for submission for the bids is the 26th, and then we'll do the bid opening sometime after that. hopefully.
Okay,
I'm trying to coordinate people to open it.
very good.
And that's exciting.
Is there anything else to come before the good? Good of the group?
Glad to see Bob back. Well, and Paul, thank you for all your service to the town,
Well, thank you very
for
much.
me personally, and I'm sure everyone.
It's been, I don't know how many years, at least 20, maybe.
Oh, my
20.
God.
I remember my dad telling me, you have a responsibility to do a civic duty. So this is mine. My brother was the president of the school board in my hometown for years. And so, I don't know whether I'd like to do this or be president of the school board. I think this is much easier and much more fun than president of the school board. So anyway, it's just, we're all doing our civic duty. So that's important, running a good town. So I think, thank you, Kit. Appreciate it. And, so, but,
Oh, Jerry,
we're gonna have a good mayor. He's already broken in. You know?
We'll see.
she's getting her shoes back.
It's been some years.
Right, anything else to come before the good of the group? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Thanks, Jeremiah. Appreciate it.